Hey everybody, it's Andrew, and I wanted to do a quick unboxing of the laptop that I have right here. This is sent over by HP, and it's on sale this week for a really significant discount. We're talking about the HP Pavilion 15, a no-nonsense laptop that will be appealing to a lot of you students, a general-purpose laptop, a secondary laptop in some sense, but a great deal nonetheless for a good family laptop to just, have in the house for those who want to use it. Right now, it's on sale for $579 over at HP's website. That is a significant decrease in price from the initial asking price, a significant discount, and I wanted to highlight it here. Hey, everybody, it's Andrew, and this is the HP Pavilion 15 laptop here for 2023. Coming up. Now, before we get to the unit itself, I just want to let everyone know, in the interest of transparency and full disclosure, I'm not being paid by HP. I'm not being sponsored by HP. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. HP is not getting copy approval. That means they're seeing this video for the first time, just like you. Now, this unit is on loan from HP, and once this review is done, I'll be sending it back. You know the drill, folks. Let's get this out of the box. Okay, so it looks like we have some nice eco-friendly packaging. Let's take it out of it. And here's the laptop itself. We'll get to that in a moment. We get a setup guide, setup instructions here, and pretty standard stuff. And of course, we have the unit itself. Before we get to that, though, we do get a pretty compact power adapter. It's 45 watts. Again, you're not going to need more than that with this. It's a barrel pin connection, of course. This, of course, is going to be a budget-friendly laptop. So don't expect all the bells and whistles, but I think you do get a lot for the money. Here's your power cord as well. So pretty compact. We're going to get a measurement of the total travel weight in a moment. And here's the unit itself in the natural silver. And I got to tell you, this seems pretty good. This feels like metal. It's got a nice cold feel to it. It's got the original circle logo from HP and signifying that it is the budget level. This seems to be metal, but again, I can't be sure if it's all metal. We'll take a look at it in depth in the full review. Not too much flex, actually, so you can see it here. Not too bad, actually, so that's been pretty good. And another look at it here. There's a little bit of flex, but nothing too bad, especially for this price point, that's for sure. All right, so let's see if we can open this with one finger. Yes, we can. Keyboard feels really good. Oh, I love the fact there's a numpad here as well. So we're looking at a 15.6-inch IPS display. Now, don't expect it to be an OLED display. It's not. But it should be certainly fine for what you need this laptop to do here. Of course, consuming media, watching Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, stuff like that. Occasional game here and there, although, again, there's no discrete GPU option on this. This does have Iris Xe graphics, and it is running a Core i7, according to this. So pretty good in that regard. It will be a U-series processor, a 15 watt. I believe it's the Core i7 1355U, okay? And so don't expect it to do AAA titles on the highest settings. Just temper your expectations. Let's take a listen to the keyboard. Keyboard and touchpad actually feel pretty good. The build quality is a little bit better than I was expecting, so that's been pretty good. Okay, let's get a measurement of the weight with the unit alone. You're looking at 1.695 kilograms or 3 pounds, 11.8 ounces, okay? With the power charger and the power cord, 1.942 kilograms, and that would be 4 pounds, 4.5 ounces. So all told, not too bad in terms of a 15.6-inch laptop. All right, let's check out the port selection. On the left side is an HDMI 2.1 port. That, of course, supports resolutions up to 4K 60. You get a USB-A. You get a USB Type-C port. Now, this is not going to be Thunderbolt, of course. This is going to be a standard USB-C port that supports power delivery DisplayPort 1.4. And it also does, I believe, charge, but we'll double check that. I could be wrong, but it does have a bolt on it, so that should support charge. And then, of course, let's move over here, which of course gives you the 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack. Now, moving over to the right side is a Kensington lock port, another USB-A port, and your power port in. So all in all, a pretty decent port selection for this price point. Now, notably missing, there's no SD card or any kind of card reader on this. So just keep that in mind. But overall, pretty decent port selection. Would have been nice to have a second USB Type-C port, but you know, at this price point, you can't really be too picky, but a pretty decent port selection nonetheless. All right, so we're getting this set up for the initial boot up, of course. That'll take a couple of minutes, but I did plug it into my Thunderbolt dock. Of course, this doesn't have a Thunderbolt port, but that USB-C port does support charge, as the LED indicator light looks like it's powered on. So we'll double check that to see if this is going to support charge. So far, looking pretty good in that regard.
So this is the camera on the HP Pavilion 15. It's a 720p camera. It's not an IR camera, no face recognition, but you can log in with that fingerprint scanner located below the keyboard deck. As far as a shutter switch, I didn't see one here, so I don't think you have one here, so you might have to cover it with something. But overall, what do you think about the video quality? What do you think about the audio quality? Let me know.
Okay, so we're all booted up, and I wanted to show you the display. It's not the best display in the world, but it's certainly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Again, you're looking at a non-touch display, so you cannot use touch on this. And it's, I believe, 250 nits. So this is the base model, but there are other options when it comes to the display. I'll put a link in the description below to the other options, but I would say it's certainly adequate for indoor use. I don't know about outdoor use, but it is a matte display. It's not a glossy display, so that's good. You don't get a lot of unnecessary glare and reflections. The viewing angles seem to be okay as well. I would say the display is okay. I would like to see it obviously a little bit brighter, but for this price point, again, I'm not going to ding them too hard. Now, for those wondering, this is what the back of the unit looks like. And here you can see that natural silver. There's the circle logo from HP. And this is as far back as it goes, as you see here. So, and you know what? I haven't seen too much screen wobble. This has actually been pretty good. Not something we normally see on a budget laptop, which tends to have not the greatest of hinges. This actually has a pretty decent hinge considering that price point. And while this is being set up in terms of some of the benchmarks, I can confirm that the USB-C port does support charge, which is an excellent thing. Of course, you can use USB-C. You can also, of course, use this included adapter or power adapter, which is 45 watts, and the barrel pin connection that connects on that power port over here. So not too bad. Now, one thing I wanted to point out is that if you're going to buy this laptop, the good news is it does have RAM slots or SODIMM slots, so you will be able to upgrade the RAM yourself. Now, this has 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, from what I understand. So I'll talk more about it in the upcoming review. But as far as the RAM on this case, this is, of course, going to be upgradable. And of course, the SSD can be upgraded as well. Now, so far, everything seems very snappy, very quick. So nothing in terms of slowdowns or anything getting bogged down. So that's a good sign right off the bat. Now, I'm going to run an initial Geekbench 6, and I'll bring more in the final review. But I would say so far, everything seems to be pretty snappy, pretty fluid overall. Not too bad. Okay, so we have our score on the Geekbench 6, and it has some pretty decent performance, folks. 2521 single-core score, 8522 multi-core score. That means you're going to be able to do everyday tasks without any issues. Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, everything will be handled very well with this. Both single and multi-thread performance are covered here. Now, again, Core i7-1355U, a 15-watt CPU, 10 cores, 2 performance cores, 8 efficient cores, and so far, pretty good performance out of these numbers. And here's the OpenCL score of the Geekbench 6, 13,791. Again, integrated Iris Xe graphics, no discrete graphics option. But again, I don't think you're buying this to do high-end 4K video editing or AAA title gaming. But for everyday use, certainly good graphics performance for what you need this to do. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so this has a 256 gigabyte SSD. The good news is, of course, you could upgrade it yourself. And of course, we're not going to see Gen 4 speeds on this, as the reads are already coming in on this. Now, the bottom line is the RAM and SSD is upgradable on this unit. And this unit should support PCIe Gen 4 if you choose to upgrade it yourself. All right, so as far as the audio is concerned, it has B&O tuned speakers, and there's an B&O audio control where you have equalizers and you can set to the sound the way you like it. And actually, the speakers are not too bad for a budget level laptop. Now, it's set on the music setting, so I will minimize that. And let's listen to Epidemic Sound to give a little bit of a sample of the audio. Again, it's not really too bad on this. I'm pretty impressed for the price point, but you be the judge. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, let's give it a listen. Okay, folks, so let's bring it all home here. This is a quick unboxing. I didn't want to get too involved in it. My overall takeaway is the HP Pavilion 15 is a solid secondary laptop, a good general purpose laptop for those that don't want to break the bank. Good for a student, good for an elementary student, good for anybody who just doesn't want to spend a lot of money and get a pretty good laptop. The zippy performance here on that Core i7 1355U has really impressed me considering the price point. Again, the display's a bit dim, a little bit washed out. I would like to see it a little bit better, but there are other display options. But I think overall, not a bad value, especially if they're having such a great sale here for Black Friday. So again, link for those interested in the description below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and that platform formerly known as Twitter. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.